Hello everyone, it's Monday. It's the last day of November. Tomorrow begins the last month of this particular year, and what a year it's been for all of us. Never mind coronavirus, Brexit around the corner, but perhaps in your life, I know certainly in mine, there have been lots of other wobbles, other things that have come our way that have disturbed us or overjoyed us, surprises in every form. And as we start our journey yesterday in Advent through to Christmas, and as perhaps tomorrow is, well, in my son's mind at least, in Lucas's mind, who's 6, tomorrow is the beginning of Advent, because tomorrow you start opening the chocolate Advent calendar. I hope that your journey towards Christmas is as hopeful and as joyful as possible. I wanted to talk a little bit this morning about things that are beautiful, because one of the things that happens when we hunker down into some kind of survival mode is that the beautiful things are often the things that we put aside. And it's been an ongoing story in the media for the last 9 months, how the creative arts, music, drama, theatre, all the performing arts and the creative arts have really suffered, because a lot of people who work in those fields have been freelancers or people working self-employed. And when you're an artist and you produce paintings and you sell them, it's quite hard to for example, give an account of what your average income is in a month, because it will vary enormously. I know people who work in those fields, and I know that I couldn't begin to deal with the stress of not knowing month to month, week to week even, what your next paying work is going to be. But for those for whom it matters, it's incredibly powerful that they express themselves in that way, and they help all of us to see beauty in things that go beyond what we really need, physically at least, but things that tap into our deeper needs, our need to be moved, our need to have deep stories told, our need to appreciate beauty in all its forms, storytelling, all the things that take us beyond the immediate. So I bought myself something really beautiful, and it arrived the other day. It's this. It's a book called Strata. As you can see, it's a bit of a whopper. William Smith was is known by many as considered the father of modern geology. This book, or the prints that are in it, and his initial survey of the United Kingdom, was published in 1815 on the back of some work he'd done in the late 1700s even, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. This is the page. This is his chart for Yorkshire and Cumbria. And along with the book, sorry, I dropped it on the floor, there's a little chroma key of colours which may not come out that clearly or that well in the light of, no, all a bit too bright. But it is a beautiful thing. The lettering is embossed. It's big, it's heavy, I love it. And I'm going to spend some time with it through the next while, just dipping into a subject that I find really interesting. It's beautiful. I don't need it. I don't have to have it. It's interesting, but it's also beautiful. And I guess if I'd just seen a kind of standard black and white book with William Smith's geological maps and the story of his life, I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have looked twice. But I bought this because it's beautiful. It's a piece of art, in much the same way as the Wainwrights are pieces of art. The Wainwright walking guides, handwritten, hand illustrated, just astonishingly beautiful things. Ancient civilizations, as far back as we've ever discovered, were in the habit of making beautiful things. Jewelry emerges as fast as technology emerges. We have, and I was talking about this last week, we have the emergence of gold and precious stones and things that are pretty in themselves, beautiful in themselves, emerging very quickly in the human story. So there's something deep within us that wants to not just create these things and express these things, maybe use them as symbols of power and of wealth and oppression. That's always the case, but the appreciation of beauty. And so you find in ancient cultures very utilitarian items, combs and other things, richly inscribed, beautifully decorated, far more than just useful. I want to just ask you this morning, what is beautiful in your life? What are the things you have that are beautiful, that speak to you of more than just getting by, more than just the day-to-day, what we need in our physical bodies to survive? What are the beautiful things you have, and what makes them beautiful? Sometimes they're beautiful because they connect us to other people, to our families, to stories, to all kinds of things. But some of them we acquire and we collect and we hold on to because they are beautiful to us. Now, of course, it's a matter of taste. One of my memories of my grandparents, my father's parents, house was that, and I never really thought about it. It was just Grandma and Grandpa's flat smelt a certain way and looked a certain way, but they collected Toby jugs. They had all kinds of beer mugs. I think it's the same thing. I don't really know, but they had all these sort of pirates and farmers and all kinds of things around a ledge at the top of their flat. And they were just a curiosity to me. I don't have any, and if they'd all been left to me, I wouldn't be sure that I'd be thrilled to have them. But I do have other things that are precious, that speak to me of my connection to other people. But I also have things that are just mine, that I've found, that are my treasure, that are beautiful things for me. And some of them are books, some of them are objects. What are your beautiful things? And when was the last time you found something that felt like treasure because it was beautiful? Or you experienced something that was beautiful? At our peril, we forget the importance of beauty in the world. We forget the importance of those who, through not just their science, but their conscientious and diligent and artful expression, like William Smith's maps, and then those who've put the book together in the beautiful way that they have. We forget the importance of doing things beautifully. So I want to ask you today, what's beautiful in your life? And what makes it so? And what's your latest treasure? And how will it remind you of this time, or what's it about? What makes it special? What makes it beautiful? What makes it something you want to hold on to? Of course, often the things that are most precious to us and most beautiful, most treasured, are things that it would be good for us at some point to think about giving away or passing on, so that we share the beauty and we pass on a part of ourselves, not just something that we've decided we don't like anymore. I'm in the habit of giving people books, and when I give people books, I often give them, if it's a book that I've read, I give them my copy, and I tell them that, because I want them to know that this is something precious to me that I'm passing on to them, not so that they feel extra grateful or anything, but because it makes it, I think, more meaningful to be given someone else's treasure. I then buy another copy, and I have another copy for myself. But there's something of me that goes into the book that I pass on in that way. What's your treasure? What makes it treasure? When was the last time you found any? And what will be your treasure out of this year? Bless you. See you tomorrow.